Access Film Fest is happening November 7th and 8th at Village Hall and Framingham State University. It's brought to you by Access Framingham, and I am Diana Porter, one of the founders and lead programmer. And today I'm very excited because I am getting to chat with Adam Griswold, one of our many talented filmmakers. And Adam actually has 2 films in the festival this year, both a short and a feature. Welcome, Adam.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to be here.
So I loved both of your films. A gender fluid film is
It's a genre fluid film.
Genre fluid film.
It's a play on gender fluid. Yeah.
So a genre fluid film is a short film. And could you tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind that film?
Well, so I came out as gender fluid like just a few years ago, and it's been a process of figuring out how to navigate that. It's like, it's still, it's always convenient to, live most of my life in the gender I was born. So it's like, I'm kind of looking for an outlet to, express femininity. And so I got to do that a little bit in the feature that we'll be talking about as well, but only really for a few scenes. And so as that was wrapping up, I was looking for something to give me an outlet to explore that part of my life, because it's just, it can be tough to find that. So I really was, I actually, over the course of the last year or so, I wrote a few different scripts on that subject, and I wasn't happy with all of them. And then somehow I came up with this whole idea where the whole premise of the film is I'm trying to find a solid premise to address transgender and non-binary gender fluid issues, but I keep changing my mind, and it ends up being a whole bunch of short scenes in this short film that all kind of deal with that subject.
Yeah, it's really great. It's very entertaining. It's a great watch. And your other film, The Other Christmas Show, I was so thrilled to have something that felt of the season for our film festival. Can you talk a little bit about the inspiration behind that one as well?
Well, that one, yeah, it's like, it took 3 years to make, so now it's like been 4 years since I was first developing the script. But that was really, it came out of a point where we were kind of coming out of the pandemic at that point, and I'd been going through a long stretch where I'd been keeping weirdly busy through all that time, but I was making a lot of shorter films and smaller things, and just, I really wanted to do another bigger project. I'd done bigger feature films years earlier, and I don't know, The Other Christmas Show just kind of came out of everything that was going through my head at the time, including the gender fluidity, which I was wanting to find a way to come out of the closet at that time, and that found its way in there. So it really just kind of ended up being this whole thing on the subject of, we put all this work into these huge projects, and sometimes it doesn't feel like there's any payoff, but then at the end of it, I just want to do another one. And so basically from there, it just, and it's a musical film. I'd done another musical feature years earlier, and that was a whole long process. But once I was far enough removed from it, there was this feeling of, I really feel like, having had that experience, I could do another musical film and apply that experience and do something even better, and something that felt more personal to me. And I just, almost 4 years ago, I just wrote the biggest, most ambitious script I had ever tried to write, and was just like, I don't know if I can even do this, but I'm gonna try. And then, it took 1.5 years for us to even start filming. And then it took, most of the summer of 2023 and part of the fall to film the whole thing. And then it was another 1.5 years in post. It was a huge undertaking.
Yeah, that to me, it's the biggest difference between a feature and a short is just the size of it. It seems almost too obvious. And you wear so many hats in your films. You're producing, you're directing, you're writing, you're acting. Did I miss anything?
Oh,
You're doing
probably.
craft services?
Sometimes, I'd be the one ordering the food and bringing it in. It was, I do basically everything, probably too much. I produce, I write, direct, I act in them. I think I stepped away from acting in my own films too much for a while, but then now it's like wanting to find an outlet for my gender fluid issues. It's like, well, I obviously have to be playing the lead in this.
Well, I was curious if you were to choose one job, you're given the perfect project and all the other jobs are filled by the perfect people, which job would you most want to do?
I don't. I would say almost maybe just writing the script, because it just, I feel like I enjoy the whole process because, I'm seeing the whole thing through from beginning to end. It starts with me coming up with this idea, and then it's, I write the whole thing, and then, so I guess because that's the very beginning of it, then it would still feel like it was to some degree my idea. And then if I could find talented people to then do everything else.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's the whole, that's the joy of it, is just, then we're on set and now I'm seeing these things that I pictured play out in front of me, and then I take it all and I edit the whole thing, and now I'm finally getting to put the scenes together, and finally we premiere it for everybody after all that, and it's just the whole process really is what I love.
And even though you do wear a lot of hats, you're not doing it alone.
No.
You have lots of people helping you. Do you want to talk about some of the people that help you with your films?
Oh my gosh, there's just so many people. It's like, I feel like if I start mentioning specific people, I'm going to leave somebody out.
Oh, that's totally fair. It's always a group effort, and I feel like, especially in New England, we have such a great community of people that all make films together and help each other out on each other's films. So I'm very excited that Genre Fluid Film, this is Access Film Fest is its world premiere. So this is the first chance anyone is going to have to see this film publicly. So that is super exciting. Thank you so much for sharing it with us and letting us be your premiere. What are some of the, sorry, give me a second. You've talked a bit about your journey as a gender fluid person. I feel like the other Christmas show has a lot of different themes in it that speak to people even outside of that. Do you want to talk about some of the other themes in the other Christmas show?
Yeah, some of the themes are, I think it deals a lot with just the whole, just trying to, make it in the entertainment industry, and just all the struggles that go along with that, and just like how you can, I think I kind of addressed this earlier, but how you can just work so hard at something, and then nothing will come of it, and just how sometimes it seems like there are just these huge big productions that get all kinds of attention, and then we're here making independent stuff and no one's paying any attention, and it's a whole struggle to get anybody to notice us.
Yeah. I feel like the community theater element of it, the group effort, and I think that there's a lot of places, a lot of people in the community who are organizing, are creating clubs, creating movements, and they'll really connect with the frustration of trying to get the word out, and especially in the arts, especially right now. It's a special thing to find a platform and to really have your work seen. We're really excited to share your film.
And I've been lucky that it's like, after all that work, it's like it's showing in festivals. We've had it. It's like that's what you hope to happen when you put all that time into something. And I've like somehow, against all odds, I feel like I'm actually it's feeling like it's paying off, and that's so great.
So with a short film, about how long does it usually take you from when you start writing to when you're done editing?
I would say probably about 3 months or so. Thered be probably a month or two of writing. So like that was like the Genre Fluid Film. I think I wrote it in April, and then May, June, July, August. So I guess that was maybe about 4 months. But yeah, it'll be initially just reaching out to people, and then getting scheduling, and then usually it'll be at least a month to a month and a half until there's a day when enough people are actually available. And then we'll usually shoot it over just 1 or 2 weekends, because that's all it typically takes to do a short film like that, and then probably another month or so of editing. And
so did you feel like a good sense of catharsis from doing a film that was so personal?
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, both of these films are really personal.
Yes, very true.
And honestly, it's something I never would have even considered, writing just a few years ago, because it was just something I was keeping bottled up and like kind of knowing that I would probably be supported if I came out to people, but just that whole pressure of how do I even mention this was something that I was dealing with for a long time.
And it's inspiring for me to see the way that you're being so honest and knowing that people will connect to that. People will see it and be inspired to be open and honest about
that's
themselves.
the thing, because I mean, I know when I first started to realize I was, gender fluid, or I don't know if I knew that term specifically, but somewhere in that area, like when I was in college, almost, going on 20 years ago, and and it felt like, there wasn't any, there are always been some depictions in popular culture, but nothing that was really accurate to how I felt. And there was that frustration feeling like, oh, I am part of this group, but I never even realized it because I never really saw it depicted in a way that felt honest to me. And it's like, and it is still a thing where it feels like everyone's story is going to be different. So, and I mean, and I feel like in, my film, I kind of try to simultaneously give a general thing, but then especially at the end of it, kind of just be honest about how I feel about them.
Yeah, you can't represent everyone.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But it's opening the door for more people to step through and feel safe and feel like they have a place in this world and are just as valid as anyone else, which everyone should feel. Yeah. I think I should ask you more general filmmaking questions. So we talked about how long it took you to make your short film. How about the feature film? That's an undertaking.
Film, now the fact that it was a musical with original songs that we had to get composed and record made it take longer than I think a traditional feature would take, because I've done the non-musical features I have done would typically take about a year or a little over a year, but that extra step of the music probably added like a year to the beginning of the process, and then getting a score written. So basically, this particular film, The Other Christmas Show, took over 3 years from beginning to end.
Wow.
I wrote it in November, December of 2021, and then like all of 2022 was spent in pre-production and casting, getting the music written, getting equipment together, figuring everything out. And then 2023 was when we did most of the work. That was when we got the songs recorded and then shot the whole thing over the course of the summer and fall and got started on editing. And then 2024 did the rest of editing, a lot of just touch-ups in post, got the score composed. And then in March of 2025, finally finished it and premiered it. And now it's been screening at festivals since then. So yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and now, now that it's in festivals, it's like still a part of my life. So now I'm like heading into my like 5th holiday season since I wrote this script. It just feels like it's been the longest Christmas ever.
Were there any happy surprises along the way? Anything that you didn't expect that came through?
I mean, definitely like, there were definitely times when, I mean, just in the casting of it, I cast a lot of people I hadn't worked with before. There's some people I had worked with before, but then, sometimes you just find people who are perfect for certain roles who you didn't even know. And it's like, how did I find the person who I just imagined and wrote in this? And we were able to get a theater to film in without relatively easily, we shot at Theater 3 in Acton, Massachusetts. And it was just, I just remember when we were finally like got into shooting, just seeing some of these scenes play out on stage that I'd been picturing in my head a year and a half earlier. And it was just like, oh my gosh, we're actually doing this.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
Let me see if, Lilia, am I forgetting anything important?
I guess just like, if you want to talk about like looking forward to, I know you mentioned that this is the premiere, the world premiere of one of your pieces. So if you want to just talk about like more specifically like Access Film Fest and looking forward to that, I guess.
Yes, and I was going to do the standard. So what's coming up for you next? That's the closing question for every Q&A. So are you excited for Access Film Fest?
Yeah, it's exciting. I think this is the first time I've had 2 films in one festival. And it's wild. I actually, like, The Other Christmas Show was playing in a festival in Florida, I think at the exact same time So it's like I have 2 films in one festival and then 1 film and 2 festivals in one weekend. It's pretty
Wow.
wild.
You're in demand.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be warmer in Florida
Yeah.
than here.
Well, I'm actually going to Florida like the week after anyway,
Oh.
so I won't get to miss out on that. So
I'm
I'll be
really-
able to go to the festival and then also get the warmth. And
Yes. I'm really glad that you're going to be at Access Film
Mm-hmm.
Festival. It's a great festival, and your block, the block that Genre Fluid Film is in, is a super strong block. So they're all super strong. I'm really, really impressed with the films that were submitted this year, which makes it even more impressive that
Yeah.
you got 2 in.
Yeah.
What is coming up for you next?
Well, I don't know for sure. I have been writing some stuff. I've been kind of, I guess this is the first I'm saying this. I just finished a draft of a script yesterday. At this point, it's too early to know if I'm actually going to move forward with that or what. So, but yeah, I've been writing, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Do you often, do you have a lot of scripts that you will start writing and then maybe you come back to later, or they turn into something else?
It depends. I at one point had a short script that I wrote, didn't do, and then 8 years later ended up shooting it. So yeah, and occasionally I'll have a script that I'll revisit, like some of the shorter scripts. I have some, I don't know, it's like I've written so much stuff over the years that it's like I'll forget. Occasionally something like, oh, I remember I wrote this thing, and usually I'll have to touch it up a little bit, but yeah.
And where can people keep up with you?
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm on social media. There's a page on Facebook for Smoking Bottle Entertainment and a separate page for the other Christmas show. I'm on Instagram at Adam W. Griswold, and let's see, I'm on Threads and Blue Sky.
There's so many these
I know,
days.
and it's like there's some things that I forget to update that I probably have and somewhere, and and smokingbottlentertainment.com is the website where you can find everything. I have a YouTube channel where you can find most of my short films and some of the older stuff and trailers. And then most of my features are streaming on most of them are available on Tubi. Some of them might still be available to rent on Amazon. And I think some of them are just on some other random streaming sites. If you look them up, you can probably find them.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
You can see the other Christmas show and Genre Fluid Film as part of Access Film Festival, November 7th and 8th. The other Christmas show is on Friday, November 7th at 8 p.m. at the Heineman Center at Framingham State University, and a Genre Fluid Film as part of the Love and Other Transformations block at 2:30 p.m. on Saturday, November 8th at Village Hall on the Common. Hope to see you there.